This is the story, a narrative woven through the heart of India, of how the Bhakti saints, Sufi mystics, and Sikh gurus, those luminous figures of devotion, created new pathways to the divine. Pathways that resonated with the common soul, open to all, regardless of background or belief, and still resonant today, echoing in the hearts of millions.
Weavers like Kabir, who spun not just threads of cloth, but also threads of spiritual wisdom. Cobblers like Ravidas, who found divinity in the humble act of mending shoes. Princesses like Mirabai, who renounced royal comforts for the love of Krishna. And wandering Sufi mystics, their hearts ablaze with divine love, all shared this message, a message of unity and inner peace. Their songs, in the languages of the people, in the melodies that touched their souls, declared, "God is within you and devotion is the path, the simplest and most direct way to reach him."
They sang of a personal God, a deity that wasn't distant or unreachable, who cared nothing for caste or wealth, who saw only the love in your heart, a radical idea in a divided society, a society riddled with rigid hierarchies.
This was the age of saints and mystics, a golden era of spiritual exploration, when ordinary people sought a direct connection with the divine, a personal relationship with the Almighty, bypassing rigid religious structures and the intermediaries that stood between them and God. Like 1,000 small streams, each unique and vibrant, this spiritual awakening flowed across India, touching every corner of the land, each finding its own path toward a great river of devotion, a confluence of faith and love.
But beneath this noisy drama, the clash of empires and the clamor of the marketplace, a quieter, more profound revolution was taking place. A transformation of the inner self, a revolution of songs, not swords, of love, not war. It was a battle for the human heart, not territory, a quest for spiritual liberation, not worldly power.
In the grand tapestry of medieval India, a vibrant and complex era, the stories we often hear are of kings and their magnificent empires, their rise and fall. We hear of mighty sultans and powerful maharajas, their conquests and their legacies, of grand forts and bloody battles, of sieges and victories, fought for land and glory, for dominance and control. These are the tales of worldly power, of ambition and conquest, written in stone and steel, etched into the very landscape.
These new paths offered a liberating alternative, a breath of fresh air in a society stifled by tradition. They presented a vision where spiritual fulfillment wasn't confined to a select few, to the rigid orthodoxy of the time, which often seemed more concerned with maintaining social hierarchies than nurturing genuine faith. They promised hope, dignity, a sense of belonging, and a direct, unmediated relationship with the divine, cutting through layers of intermediaries and complex rituals.
This thirst for inclusivity, for genuine connection, and for emotional connection set the stage for the transformative Bhakti and Sufi movements, reshaping the spiritual landscape of the subcontinent.
People longed for a faith that valued devotion over status, genuine piety over prescribed roles, and assured them that God was accessible to all, regardless of their birth or social standing.
In this climate of division, social stratification, and spiritual emptiness, a yearning grew for a more personal, intimate, direct experience of God, a connection that transcended the barriers of caste and creed.
The sacred texts, the keys to understanding the divine, were primarily in Sanskrit, inaccessible to the common person, effectively gatekeeping spiritual knowledge.
For most, religion was a distant, formal affair, a spectacle observed from afar, complex rituals, costly offerings, and little solace, leaving many feeling spiritually unfulfilled.
At the top of this social pyramid were the Brahmins, custodians of religious knowledge, performing rituals in a language few understood, reinforcing their position of power and authority. Below them, the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the Vaishyas, the merchants, the Shudras, the laborers, and at the very bottom, the untouchables, relegated to the margins of society, excluded from temples, denied basic rights, and subjected to systemic discrimination.
To truly understand the profound impact of these movements, we must first look at the world they were born into, the societal structures, the spiritual climate, a society rigidly divided and stratified by the unyielding caste system, a system that dictated every aspect of life.
It sowed the seeds of social reform, planting new ideas in fertile ground, championing equality and human dignity for all, regardless of their social standing. It was a call for justice. Their message, God is love, and love knows no boundaries. It was a radical concept, challenging the rigid structures of society.
The Bhakti movement transformed religion from a privilege of the few, a select group with exclusive access, to a shared, heartfelt experience open to everyone, regardless of caste or creed.
People from all walks of life gathered to sing, their voices blending in harmonious devotion, creating communities of equality and devotion, where everyone was welcome and valued.
Their songs, bhajans, filled with love and longing for the divine, kirtans, rhythmic and ecstatic, drawing listeners into a state of bliss, abhangs, simple yet profound, expressing deep spiritual truths, spread like wildfire, breaking down social barriers and uniting people in a shared experience of faith.
The Bhakti saints rejected caste and ritual, challenging the established norms of religious practice, democratizing religion and making spirituality accessible to all, regardless of their background or status.
This was revolutionary. A paradigm shift in the way people understood their relationship with the divine. It challenged the authority of priests, who had long held a monopoly on religious knowledge and practice, and declared that anyone could reach God directly through love and devotion without the need for intermediaries.
Saints like Surdas, the blind poet who sang of Krishna's love, Mirabai, the princess who renounced her royal life to follow her devotion to Krishna, and Kabir, the weaver who preached the unity of all religions, worshipped Krishna, Rama, Shiva, or a formless divine, embracing the diversity of spiritual expression, but all agreed sincere devotion was the only path to salvation, the key to unlocking the divine within.
Bhakti means devotion, a deep and abiding love for the divine, a loving attachment to a personal God, a relationship built on trust and surrender, experienced through song, poetry, and dance in everyday language, making it accessible to all.
The Bhakti movement wasn't started by a single prophet or book. It was a collective awakening. It was a spiritual current that swept across India, transforming the religious landscape and leaving an indelible mark on society.
The Bhakti movement was not just spiritual, it was a social revolution. Its legacy endures in the songs and hearts of millions.
Their lives and teachings broke barriers, inspiring generations to seek the divine within.
Together, these saints created a chorus of voices, all singing the same essential song in the eyes of a loving God. All are equal.
Ramananda accepted disciples without discriminating anyone by gender, class, caste, or religion. His disciples included Kabir, who was a Muslim weaver, Ravidasa, who was a cobbler, Sina was a barber, Sadhana was a butcher, Dana was a jat farmer, Naraharai was a goldsmith, Pipa was a Rajput prince. Tulsidas and Surdas made devotion accessible to the masses.
In Assam, Shankaradeva united communities through prayer and art, fostering equality.
Women like Mirabai defied social norms, dedicating their lives to Krishna and becoming icons of spiritual independence.
Ravidas, a cobbler, preached equality and questioned caste, while Tukaram, a grocer, sang of love for Vithoba in Marathi. Basavanna in Karnataka led a movement rejecting caste and championing women's rights.
The Bhakti movement's power lies in its saints. Kabir, a weaver, challenged both Hindu and Muslim orthodoxy, teaching that God is found in every heart.
Sufism's legacy is one of love, tolerance, and unity.
Their inclusive approach made Sufism deeply appealing to the Indian people.
Sufi saints became revered figures, respected by Hindus and Muslims alike, building bridges of understanding.
Their message was universal. All religions point to the same truth.
Sufis adopted local languages and customs, finding common ground with Bhakti and yoga.
Music and poetry, especially Qawwali, became central to Sufi practice, opening hearts to divine love.
People gathered to hear Sufi masters, share meals, and experience communal life.
Arriving in India, Sufi saints established khanqahs, spiritual centers open to all, regardless of religion or status.
They believed in purifying the heart and dissolving the ego to unite with the divine.
Sufis sought a personal experience of God, the beloved, through love, not law.
While Bhakti transformed Hinduism, Sufism, the mystical side of Islam, brought a new current of love and devotion from Persia.
They softened Orthodox Islam and fostered respect between communities. Their teachings created a spiritual space for people of all backgrounds to meet and share. The Sufi legacy is one of harmony and compassion. Their influence endures in India's culture and spirituality.
Despite differences, both orders shared the Sufi message of love, tolerance, and service.
Sufism in India was organized into various orders, each with its own practices. The Chishti order, led by Moinuddin Chishti in Ajmer, became the most popular, welcoming all, serving the poor, and staying aloof from politics. Their khanqahs offered food to all, embodying service and humility. The Suhrawadi order, prominent in Punjab and Sindh, it was established by Sheikh Shihabuddin Suhrawadi. But the actual founder of this order was Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria, born at Kotkaror in Multan. He did not associate with the common people, opposed Qalandars, and invited Sultan Iltutmish to invade Multan and topple its ruler, Kabacha. After Iltutmish annexed Multan in 1228, he appointed Bahauddin as the Sheikh-ul-Islam, or leader of the Muslim community. Unlike the Chistis, the Suhrawadi saints did not believe in leading a life of poverty. They accepted the aid of the state. Music was rejected by this order.
Nanak didn't seek to create a new religion, but a truthful way of living. Guru Nanak was born in Talwandi in 1469, in Nankana Sahib in Pakistan. He traveled widely before establishing a center at Kartarpur, Dera Baba Nanak on the river Ravi. Regular worship that consisted of the singing of his own hymns was established there for his followers. Irrespective of their former creed, caste, or gender, his followers ate together in the common kitchen called langar. The sacred space thus created by Guru Nanak was known as Dharamsal, which is now called Gurudwara. His teachings laid the foundation for the Sikh community. He established the Sangat, congregation, and Langar, communal kitchen, where all sat together as equals. Nanak taught that there is only one God, Ek Onkar, who is formless and beyond human labels. He rejected religious conflict and declared all humanity one family.
In 15th century Punjab, Guru Nanak founded Sikhism, a new spiritual path shaped by Bhakti and Sufi ideas.
The core principles, equality, service, devotion, and rejection of caste, remained central. The Sikh community became a beacon of resilience and justice.
Sikhism evolved from a devotional movement to a martial community, defending its values.
The Adi Granth became the eternal guru, and Banda Singh Bahadur led a brief period of Sikh sovereignty.
Guru Gobind Singh created the Khalsa, saint soldiers committed to justice and equality.
Later gurus faced conflict with the Mughal Empire, leading to the martyrdom of Guru Arjan Dev and Guru Tegh Bahadur.
Guru Arjan Dev compiled the Adi Granth, including teachings from Bhakti and Sufi saints, and built the Golden Temple.
Guru Nanak's legacy was carried forward by 9 successor gurus, shaping Sikh beliefs and institutions.